Hello friends, point four things are happening to Social Security and Medicare right now in July and August 2026 that directly affect your monthly income, your healthcare costs, and the long-term future of your check. And the Social Security Administration has sent no personal letter about any of them. The first one started July 1st and could save eligible seniors up to $649 per month on medication they were previously paying for entirely out of pocket. The second one started July 1st as well. And most people have no idea that what happens to the price of groceries and gasoline this July, August, and September will directly determine how much their Social Security check goes up next January. The third one is hitting SSI recipients right now, and if you spend the money the wrong way, you'll have zero SSI income for the entire month of August. And the fourth one is a deadline that is now closer than it has ever been. A deadline that if Congress misses, triggers an automatic cut to every single Social Security check in America, with no vote required and no way to reverse it once it happens. Before we get into it, subscribe to this channel right now and turn on the bell. Changes like these arrive without personal letters and without reminders. The people subscribed here find out while there is still time to act. Subscribe now and let's get into it. Development 1. On July 1st, 2026, Medicare did something it has never done in its 61-year history. For the first time since the program was created in 1965, Medicare began covering weight loss medications. The program is called the Medicare GLP-1 Bridge, and starting July 1st, eligible Medicare Part D beneficiaries can now access Wegovy, Zepbound, and Foundayo for a flat co-payment of $50 per month. To understand what that number means, the quick pen formulation of Zepbound was running up to $699 per month without coverage. Wegovy cost up to $299. Foundayo up to $349. All of them now available for $50 flat under the GLP-1 Bridge. That is a saving of up to $649 per month for a senior who was previously paying full price out of pocket for Zepbound every month. Starting now, the GLP-1 Bridge runs through December 31st, 2027. It is a demonstration program, not a permanent benefit. CMS Administrator Dr. Mehmet Oz confirmed at launch that the program is designed to expand access while Congress works on permanent coverage legislation. To qualify, you must be enrolled in a Médical par diplôme. The clinical criteria are based on your BMI when you first began GLP-1 therapy. A BMI of 35 or higher qualifies automatically. A BMI of 30 or higher qualifies if you also have heart failure, uncontrolled hypertension, or chronic kidney disease. And a BMI of 27 or higher qualifies if you have prediabetes or a history of heart attack, stroke, or peripheral artery disease. Point two things SSA and CMS are not telling you clearly. First, the $50 co-payment does not count toward your Part D annual out-of-pocket cap of $2,100. It sits entirely outside the standard Part D benefit structure. Second, if you're already receiving a GLP-1 medication through Part D for diabetes or a cardiovascular condition, you are not eligible for the bridge. The bridge specifically covers weight management use that was not previously covered under Part D at all. The action step is simple. If you have a BMI that meets any of those criteria, and you're currently paying full price for a GLP-1 medication, call your doctor this week and ask them to submit a prior authorization for the Medicare GLP-1 Bridge program. Those three words, Medicare GLP-1 Bridge, are what your doctor needs to hear. Development 2. July 1st, 2026 was not just the launch date of the Medicare GLP-1 Bridge. It was also the opening of the 3-month window that will determine how much every Social Security check in America goes up next January. The Social Security Administration sets the annual cost of living adjustment, the COLA, by measuring the consumer price index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, known as CPIW, during July, August, and September of each year. The 3-month average of that index determines the COLA that takes effect the following January. The COLA announcement for 2027 will come in October, but the data that determines that announcement is being collected right now, this month, next month, and the month after. Right now, independent analysts are projecting the 2027 COLA could be meaningfully higher than this year's 2.8% increase. The Senior Citizens League projects 3.9%. Independent Social Security analyst Mary Johnson estimates as high as 4.2% based on data through May. But those are projections, not guarantees. What actually happens to prices this July, August, and September is what determines the real number. If grocery costs keep climbing, if gasoline prices stay elevated, if housing costs do not cool, the COLA moves higher. If inflation slows down, the COLA comes in lower. In plain language, the 3 months of summer 2026 are the 3 months that determine your January 2027 raise. You will not know the official number until October, but the measurement process is happening right now. This matters more than most people realize because the 2027 COLA will be applied to your benefit amount before the Medicare Part B premium increase is deducted. Just like in 2026, when the average COLA raise of $56 per month was partially eaten by a $17.90 Medicare premium increase, leaving the average recipient with only $38 more per month. The action step here requires nothing but attention. Stay informed as the monthly inflation reports come out. In August and September, the Bureau of Labor Statistics releases CPI data on the 2nd or 3rd week of each month. The July data releases in mid-August. The August data releases in mid-September. Each report will give you an early picture of where your 2027 COLA is heading. Development 3. If you receive Supplemental Security Income, SSI, pay close attention to this one, because a mistake here costs you an entire month of income with no way to recover it. SSI recipients in July 2026 will see 2 deposits arrive in the same calendar month, one on July 1st and a second one on July 31 SD. The July 31st deposit is not a bonus. It is not extra money. It is August's SSI payment arriving early because August 1st, 2026 falls on a Saturday, and SSA moves payments forward to the last business day before weekend or federal holiday. If you spend the July 31st deposit before August arrives, you will have 0 SSI income for the entire month of August. Not reduced income. 0. Because August payment has already been paid on July 31st. The next deposit after July 31st is September's payment on September 1st. That means from July 31st to September 1st, 31 days, no new SSI deposit arrives. For anyone on a fixed income, 31 days with no new income is not an inconvenience. It is a financial emergency. The maximum federal SSI payment for an individual in 2026 is $943 per month. For a couple, $1,415 per month. Whatever your amount is when that July 31st deposit arrives, label it August immediately and do not spend a single dollar of it on July expenses. If you have automatic payments scheduled for August 1st, rent, auto pay, utility auto pay, any subscription charge, contact your bank before July 31st and confirm that the deposit will clear in time to cover those automatic payments. without causing an overdraft. SSA sent no personal warning about this deposit timing. The money arrives in your account with no note and no explanation. You now know what it is and exactly what to do with it. Development 4. This is the one that affects every single person receiving Social Security, not just SSI recipients, not just Medicare enrollees, every recipient. And it is the most serious long-term threat to your monthly income that currently exists. On June 9th, 2026, the Social Security Board of Trustees released their annual report on the financial condition of the program. The headline finding is this: the OASI Trust Fund, which is the fund that pays retirement and survivor benefits to 71 million Americans, is now projected to be depleted by 2032. 6 years from today. And when that fund runs out under the law, as it currently stands, Social Security does not stop, but every check gets cut automatically. Incoming payroll tax revenue at that point would only cover 78% of scheduled benefits. That means an automatic 22% cut to every Social Security check in America. Not a congressional decision, not a vote, an automatic mathematical consequence built into existing law that takes effect the moment the fund is depleted, unless Congress acts before then. For the average beneficiary currently receiving $2,071 per month, a 22% cut means losing $456 every single month. Every month for the rest of their life. What makes the 2026 Trustees Report different from every previous warning is that the depletion date has not improved. It has gotten worse. 1 year ago, the projected depletion date was 2033. Today is 2032. The clock is moving in the wrong direction. The reason the date moved closer is directly connected to 2 laws Congress passed in the last 12 months. The Social Security Fairness Act, which restored benefits to millions of public sector workers, cost the trust fund an estimated $196 billion over 10 years. And the One Big Beautiful Bill, which created the $6,000 senior tax deduction, will cost an additional $168.6 billion in lost revenue and has moved the depletion date forward by an estimated 6 months. In plain language, Congress gave seniors real money with one hand and moved the automatic cut deadline closer with the other hand. Both things are true at the same time, and most of the seniors who benefited from those laws have no idea the depletion date just moved closer. Because of them, right now in Washington, 3 proposals are actively being debated as potential fixes for the trust fund, and the senators elected in November 2026 will be the ones required to vote on this issue during their term. The first proposal is the 6-figure limit, a plan from the committee for a responsible federal budget that would cap Social Security benefits at $100,000 per year for couples and $50,000 for single retirees. Senator Lindsey Graham has publicly supported this approach, saying at a March 2026 Senate hearing that if it takes a cap to save Social Security, he is prepared to accept it. The second proposal would raise or eliminate the payroll tax cap, currently set at $184,500 in 2026, so that higher income earners pay Social Security taxes on more of their income. Supporters say this brings in revenue without cutting anyone's benefit. Critics say it raises taxes on workers and small business owners. The third proposal is bipartisan, from Senators Bill Cassidy and Tim Kaine, and would borrow $1.5 trillion from the federal government to create an investment fund, using the returns to help sustain Social Security payments going forward. None of these proposals have passed. None are law today, but the 2032 deadline is real. The automatic 22% cut is real, and the debate is happening right now, not in some distant future. Congress session, but in the same Congress that is sitting in Washington. As you watch this video, the action step for this development is to go to ssa.gov/myaccount and log into your My Social Security account. Look at your current benefit estimate at full retirement age. Multiply that number by 0.78. That is what your check would be under the automatic 22% cut if Congress does nothing before 2032. Write that number down. Keep it, because that number is the financial stake you personally have in what Congress decides or fails to decide over the next 6 years. And stay informed as the 2026 election approaches. Every senator running for election this November will be asked about Social Security reform. Their answer, or their refusal to answer, tells you everything about what they plan to do with your check. Now let me give you the complete action plan, one specific step for each of the 4 developments, because knowing what is happening is only half of it. Action step 1 for the Medicare GLP-1 bridge. If you have Medicare Part D coverage and a BMI of 30 or higher, call your doctor this week and ask specifically whether you qualify for the Medicare GLP-1 bridge. If you qualify, your doctor submits a prior authorization to your Part D plan. The program is live now. You do not need to wait. Action step 2 for the 2027 COLA measurement window. Watch the monthly inflation reports from the Bureau of Labor Statistics in August and September. The July CPI report releases in mid-August. The August CPI report releases in mid-September. These 2 reports will give you an accurate picture of where your January 2027 raise is heading, well before SSA announces the official number in October. Action step 3 for SSI recipients. When the July 31st deposit arrives in your account, label it August. Immediately, write down every fixed expense you have in August: rent, utilities, food, medication, transportation. Add them up. Make sure the July 31st deposit covers every one of them before you spend any portion of it on anything else. The 31-day gap between July 31st and September 1st is real. Budget for it now. Action step 4 for the trust fund deadline. Log into ssa.gov/myaccount. This week, find your full retirement age benefit estimate. Multiply it by 0.78. Write it down. That is your personal stake in this debate. Then call SSA at 1-800-772-1213 and ask for a copy of your full benefit statement, including your projected amount at age 62, full retirement age, and age 70, so you have all 3 numbers in front of you as this debate develops. These 4 action steps combined take less than 1 hour total. 1 phone call to your doctor, 30 minutes on ssa.gov, 1 conversation with your bank, and 1 look at the BLS website in August. That is all it takes to be fully prepared for everything happening to your benefits right now. And if you're sharing this video, which I hope you will, share it specifically with SSI recipients you know who may not realize the July 31st situation, and with anyone approaching retirement who has not yet logged in to see their benefit estimate at all. 3 ages that SO here is the complete picture of the 4 things happening to Social Security and Medicare right now in July and August 2026. Development 1. The Medicare GLP-1 bridge launched July 1st, 2026. 4. The first time in 61 years, Medicare now covers weight loss medications. Eligible par d'enrôler can access Wegovy, Zepbound, and Foundayo for a flat $50 monthly co-payment, saving up to $649 per month compared to out-of-pocket prices. The program runs through December 31st, 2027. To access it, call your doctor and ask for a prior authorization for the Medicare GLP-1 bridge. Development 2. July 1st also. Open the 3-month COLA measurement window. What happens to prices this July, August, and September determines your January 2027 Social Security raise. Current projections range from 3.9 to 4.2%, but the official number comes in October and depends entirely on what inflation does over these 3 months. Development 3 SSI recipients will see 2 deposits in July. July 1st is July's payment. July 31st is August's payment, arriving early because August 1st falls on Saturday. That second deposit is not a bonus. Spending it before August arrives means zero SSI income for 31 days. Development for the 2026 trustees. Report projects the OASI Trust Fund depleted by 2032, 1 year sooner than last year's projection. An automatic 22% cut too. Every check triggers at that point, unless Congress acts. 3 proposals are being debated now. None have passed. The debate is happening in the same Congress sitting today. SSA sent no personal letter about any of these 4 developments. The Medicare GLP-1 bridge launched with a press release. The COLA window opened with no announcement. The SSI double deposit arrives with no warning. And the trustees' report was published quietly on a government website that most beneficiaries will never visit. You now know all 4. You have the action steps, and you have the exact numbers. What you do with that information in the next 7 days could directly protect your income for the next several years. Subscribe. Share this with someone you know on Social Security or Medicare, especially anyone who receives SSI, anyone currently paying full price for a GLP-1 medication, and anyone who is not yet logged in to see their benefit estimate at ssa.gov. And I will see you in the next one.